United States. So they learned from the Europeans and they copied the Europeans. And they copied the beautiful style. It has never gone out of fashion. Again, the Wrigley Building is still one of the most beautiful buildings, in my humble opinion, on the river. It's in Chicago of an architect called Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, who is a German architect who escaped during World War II and came to Chicago. Right here, there's the big black box for you. It's called AMA Plaza. He designed that. You may be thinking, oh, there's so many beautiful, beautiful buildings on the river. Why am I talking about this big black box? I'm talking about it because it is beautiful in a different sense. Engineering of the building. So you can look straight up and see this big black box that is calibrated precisely to look as it is. Now, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe had an apprentice who disagreed with him a little bit on style, and he designed, boom, these two buildings right next to AMA Plaza. They look like in Chicago, they're frequently known as the Corn Cob Building in nature, so why should there be right angles in our buildings, in our spaces? So he created these completely circular buildings out of concrete. Marina City is very interesting because it is actually a city. It has its own marina, as you can see, but it is a city within a city and was designed as such. When they were being built in the 1960s, there was a huge flight of a lot of the working population. There we go. All I need is one. All I need is one because it's one of my favorite stories on the river because I love ghost stories. I'm going to tell you about the Eastland River disaster, and I'm going to tell you about that right here because we are on the exact spot of the Eastland River disaster of 1915. Imagine a boat quite a bit larger than this one, and a bunch of people who rented it out for a picnic. 2,500 people renting it out for a picnic one lovely day, and this boat was obliging with the brand new rule of having as many lifeboats as needed for all of the people on board. However, because they had so many lifeboats, it was a top-heavy boat, and the boat ended up completely tipping over, killing 800 in the process. And I'm going to segue that into this building right here, the Reed Murdoch building with this lovely music. And I mentioned the ghost story with the building because the building itself held a lot of the injured victims of that disaster and is supposed to be haunted, as well as is an example of something called tripartite style architecture, which is a staple of the Chicago school style. It's got this tan limestone on the bottom, the red brick, and then a topper, a little fancy topper. So it's built like a column with an elaborate base, a long vertical lines going upward, a stretch, and then a crown on top. You will see this called Merchandise Mart, and it is one of the largest structures in Chicago. It had its own train station for a while and still has its own L stop. It has its own zip code. And it is a perfect style of architecture called Art Deco. Art Deco, ladies and gentlemen, the first hub of Chicago began. At this point, it's called Wolf Point. It is very important because it connects the main branch of the river, which is what we just came up, the south branch, which is this direction, and the north branch of the river. It's the Y, the River Y. There are lots of different theories of why it's called Wolf Point. My favorite theory is that at this location, some of the first buildings that we put in Chicago, it is a dead bridge. It's not connected to anything. But this is a prominent part in one of the weirder photo ops on the tour, so if you're interested in history, take a little click on this guy. But this is the 1908 Kinsey Street Bridge. And this bridge is prominent because it actually connected the railroad and the industry of one side to the west side of Chicago, therefore really giving the west side of Chicago more of a place. The bridge...